Hello, hello, hello. um, so today I'm going live to just do the second scene of the motion design animation that I didn't finish yesterday because I only did like the first scene yesterday. So today I want to do the second scene as well. So see if we can just improve on it, do something better, or yeah. So if anybody is just tuning in, hope you're enjoying the stream, and yeah, and if you're seeing this after the stream is done, so hope you're enjoying the tutorial as well. So let me pull up the motion design project. Okay. One second.
It's
Okay. So today I wanna work
today.
on today I wanna work on recreating this animation, like the second scene, and I'm gonna show you exactly which one. It's this one. So yeah, all the elements, all like the cloth deformation on the background. It's using a force field, and the cloth simulation is running with it.
Ah,
So yeah, today I'm gonna be working on that. So let's see what we can do here. Let me just move this to the side here. And yeah, so let's get started here. We've got coffee ready as well, so because it's been a long day. So we're gonna start by creating a plane here, and this is gonna be the cloth later. That's gonna be deforming with the force fields. So, and for some reason, when I used to do like a lot of cloth simulations, um, if it's like, if some of it, if like half of the mesh is like below the world, it always messes up underneath. I don't know why. So always just make sure. I don't know if this is different now or not, or is it just something in my settings? I have no idea, but I think it's mostly due to some settings in the default settings about the gravity and stuff like that. So just make sure that your plane or whatever that you're doing the cloth simulation, that it's above the world. It's not really intersecting in the origin point, so it's like not half down and half up. So just make sure that it's up there. It's right above like the axis line. So yeah, and and we're gonna be adding a lot of edge loops, but only on the horizontal. I'm gonna add like 50 edge loops here. And the reason why we add only horizontal loops, because if you think about it, the way it deforms, if we add like, vertical and horizontal, it's gonna be deforming in every way. Like it might deform in ways that we don't want it, but I just want it to like roll over itself. Like if we were to have like a side view of it. So we go outside of the edit mode, and I just want it to like roll like this and like almost compress in that direction. So there is no way you can do that with like the topology being like this, like you have like vertical loops that's gonna be making some artifacts. So I just want it to be like a clean horizontal folding that is happening all the way to the top. So we're probably going to be adding like a vortex field here that's going to be rolling the whole cloth. And we're going to be pinning the edges of the cloth so that they're not affected. So basically think about it like this. If the cloth is like too long, so we'll see because we're going to have to recreate this. So let me just remove all the vertical loops here. Um, I don't know actually if it's long enough or not. Wait, this is not even in the fucking front view, so let me just put it in the front view. Okay, so that's the front view. Let's make sure that I don't think it's flipped. It is flipped. Wow. Okay. Okay, so now we're looking at, the right direction of the normals of the faces. Um, so let me just make a vertex group now so that we can pin both of these edges to a vertex group. And these are going to be vertex groups that are not going to be affected by, the simulations. So when we go into the physics here and we put a cloth tag, cloth, modifier tag so that we can run a simulation on it. If you would like to experiment, with all the settings here, like the cotton, denim, leather, I almost always go for the silk one because it gives a bit of like a smoother look to the cloth when it deforms. So I'm just gonna be sticking to this, and you can always as well experiment with the vertex mass because it affects how much of the force field have, like how much power the force field has over the cloth itself, depending on the mass. Because obviously, it's a, a reversible, like it's like a it's like inversely it has like an inverse relationship. If like the math if the mass of the cloth is low, then you need more force for that to work. So you need more force. If the mass is low, I'm sorry, oh my god, I'm getting distracted. If the mass is low, then you're not gonna need a lot of force as much as you're gonna be needing when the mass is big. So that's not inversely. So I just, I messed up. I'm sorry. I was distracted. I meant to say that, if the mass is low, then you're not gonna be needing as much force as you're gonna be needing if the mass is big. So you can't really know that if you just keep experimenting with, how much mass you have in your cloth tag. So yeah, now that we have both of these edges pinned, now we can just go into the cloth simulation settings here, and we go to the shape and the pin group, and then we just attach the vertex group here. And now, if we just literally play the simulation right now with only the gravity field affecting it, because the gravity is set to 1 and the field waits, nothing is happening because we pinned both of them. But let's say we just broke the link here in the vertex group and we just removed this part. So we removed it, and now let's play the simulation. It's just gonna, it falls down like this. So it's affected by gravity now, you know? So, which is good. So now we know that the vertex group is working and we can pin both of the both of the edges of the cloth here. So let's go and just repin it again. And we go to the simulation tags here. Okay, make sure it's set. Now when we play, it should not move, and that's good. So through the effect of the folding, I cheated a bit. I didn't have to like, pin both of them. You can only just pin the above part, and you can do like the top part, and you can just leave the other one loose and go into the settings and just literally remove the gravity. And now you can just create a force field. And if you get like the vortex, which is, if you look here, it has like an indicator of the direction of force. So it's like a circular, in a way, creating like a almost like a, if there was like, wind, it would create like a tornado or something like that. So it's like creating vortices in a way. So yeah, so this is the kind of force field that you would use to do something like rolling and stuff like that. So it's pretty straightforward. You can just rotate so that you can imagine like we're gonna be, if we look from the side, you can imagine like we're doing like the folding of the cloth. right? So now if we pull it all the way up in here and we drag it a bit to the back, like behind the cloth, and we just play the simulation, it's gonna be rolling up. But obviously it looks very, very funky. And that might be due because of the maybe we don't have enough loops. And if that's the case, we can just literally select everything and limit dissolve and just re-add the edge loops. So let's add like 80 and look again. And now it looks really nice. But obviously it's doing something that we're not expecting. Like it's not doing what we want it to do. Like it's just rolling from bottom to top, and we want it to just roll on this side here, only on this part, just so we don't have to see like the bottom part. So the way to do this is that we go into the force field and we want to basically limit the field itself. Like we want a way to tell like the force field like, hey, don't just work globally everywhere on every vertex. So just we want it like let's say this is like in a global way, it's just affecting this much, this much area affected by the force that is generated by that force field. So in a way, we just want to tell the force field to like, we want this much area to be affected so that when we have like the cloth being rolled up, so it would be like making the folds that we want only on like this part and have a bit of a stretch here without just dragging everything up, you know. So the way we do this is that we go into the settings of the force field, and then we're gonna control the fall off here of the force field. And this is by doing the minimum distance, and it's just gonna make like a circle. And this circle is gonna be like the fall off of the force field itself. So however much like this circle is, it's gonna be the limiting factor of how far that force field is affecting. So it cannot like affect more than what the circle is indicating unless you increase like the strength to like an astronomical number or something. So if we were to like play the sim right now it's like, I mean, let's see. Okay, yeah. So we talked about the fall off of the force field. Now we need to do the something else, the weight paint, because the weight paint is gonna be wait, the weight paint is gonna be the important factor here to just determine how like where that force field is gonna be affecting beside that fall off. So now that we made the vertex group for this, the pinning of that edge. So we said that this edge is not going to be affected by the cloth simulation as a whole. So now we want to make another vertex group and we just include everything, all of the faces. And we're going to go into the weight paint and we're just going to determine like how much of that vertex group is being affected. So the way to do this is that we're going to be grabbing like a gradient and we're going to go, let's just paint with a weight of 0 and we're gonna go from bottom to top. So blue always means, cold or not affected, and red means that it's affected. So now, if we go to the object mode and go to the physics simulation of the cloth simulation, and we go down, and we want to control, like, we want to tell the simulation that this weight that we painted over the plane, this is gonna be like the driving weight that is going to be limiting the cloth simulation basically. So if we were to go to the property weights and wait, no, not property. Let me just look for the setting. It should be in something like the density or something. I mean, maybe this one. I think it's this one. No, it's not. Hold up. Just 1 second. Interesting. So what if we go to the weight paint and we just reversed everything? Let me just check if it's working or not first. So let's just disable and work. And okay, it's not, this is not, that is not how to include the vertex group. Wait, is it the pending group? Try shape? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. You're right. You're right. Maybe I mean I tried shape because I wanted to pin like the I wanted to pin like the edge itself. So let's see. Still doing the same. So it's still rolling from the bottom. No, it's not. Property. What? Like it's not even changing the result. Like this is what's affected. That's not what is affected. Think it might be glitched. Still the same. Wow. Oh my god. Let's see here. Hmm. This is the pin group. And we have it pinned here. And we disable the gravity and it's not in the collision. Doesn't make any sense, literally. Okay, okay, okay. So it's working, but we just have to reverse the thing. So let's do it. Um, let's just keep this like that and go to the weight paint, and we're gonna be reversing the whole thing. Spin to the weight of 0. And we're gonna have the weights be at the bottom. So now if we play the sim, same thing. Look. Okay, very interesting. So say we increase this a bit. That's too much. There is no way. Like, okay, this is bending the shape. Okay, so Let's just reassign everything. Okay, we can just remove it from here, and we can have it be reversed. We're gonna make the second vertex book, and we're gonna assign it here. Go to the weight paint, and we're just gonna do weight paint of 0, and we're gonna do it like this, and then we're gonna see. Wait, I didn't assign it yet. Again, like, what? Brother, brother, for the love of God, just work. Okay, and now let's try this. Okay, how about we just make it longer and remove all the faces and just re-add all the edge loops. And let's just bring it up. And we're gonna treat this in a way so that we're gonna have like the camera look at here, and we're gonna have the folds happening up here. So this has to be going up. So let's try and just have this to be loose. This is gonna be pinned. So we're gonna pin this one, but we're gonna remove this one, the one at the bottom. And then we're gonna attach it to the shape. And let's see. It's just gonna be too much. Still too much. About 8. Okay. Now let's enable the collision so it's not colliding. Okay. Just lower this full off. See if it helps. Doesn't help. That is crazy. Okay. 1 second. Uh-uh. Okay, so we want to have it roll up and make these folds. So let's see. So we tried the weight paint. It's not coming up still. I guess maybe we can just add like some cylinders and do like the collisions on them. Like some collision tags on them and they would collide with the cloth and yeah, let's see. And let's just do one there. Let's first add the collision and let's add one here. See if it collides. Okay, it collides. Okay. Gonna add a collision here as well, just in case. And we're gonna raise this one up like here, and we're gonna see. Okay, so let's see. Let's try and animate like the strength and see. We start here and go up to 3. See how that looks. It's a bit too much. Let's just lower it. Why is it? And let's see. I'm gonna lower the friction here on this one. No, but we don't want it to fold like this. So let's see. What if we just intercept like this? Okay, let's bring the friction here. Let's lower it here. Okay, let's try and add a turbulence. See if that's gonna be affecting it in a way that looks interesting. Is it affecting it at all? Okay, it is. Let's just make it like 4. Okay, we're gonna have to add some subdivisions here. Okay, let's add another one here. Because I'm trying to look for like a sweet spot for it that wouldn't look like too artificial or something. Um, like I made it like in the animation. I made it so that folds up here. Wait, actually no. I remember that I made it and I baked it as an alembic, and then I just rotated the thing around. So I think it was like this. It started like this, and then I baked it as an alembic. I exported it as an alembic, and then I just re-imported it again. So I'm gonna try and do that. But let's first like just get the folds here right. To be folding right. Because it's being pushed to the front. So maybe we can just add a force field here that attracts it, like it's -2 or something. And we can just have this be like on this side, and We can also like have a fall off for this force field so that it's not affecting everything. Again, it's not working. Okay, it is right now. Yeah, that looks nice. Then we want to form like multiple folds here. So we can do that, I guess, by just... let's see. Let's try and add like a couple of cylinders here adjacent to each other. Yeah, because we want to look at it from the perspective of if we just flipped all of this like upside down, how it would look. Um, like I'm liking this fold right here, like the fold that just happened here. So let's just try and, yeah, that looks nice. Like this one that happens between these two. Maybe we can just lower the bendiness, or like how stiff it is. Like let's make that 5. And let's make that 10 and this 10. Let's see if that affects it in any way. Okay. So let's just add a cylinder here. That's gonna be inside of it, so that we reinforce that fold. And it looks nice. Looks nice. So I'm gonna try and just cache it and then export it as an Olympic and see how it looks. Just so that we can see everything without these cylinders. What's up, Woozy? Um, so yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna have to just experiment more with this. Let me just put it in the center. Uh, so yeah, we're doing a cloth simulation. I'm trying to do like the second scene that was in the animation. Uh, and yeah, got stuck a bit, but it's okay. It's okay. It's been so long since I did it, so I forgot like how I even did it, and I don't have like the source file in Blender, like the Blender source file, so I can't recall like how I did it, but I remember like roughly that I did the simulation, baked it as an Olympic, and then I re-imported it again, and I tried to position it in a way just to like hide some artifacts that was showing. But it was mainly like you make a plane with like horizontal edge loops like this, and you have like a force field that is a vortex force field, and you like you have it have a minimum fall off so that it's not like all over the place, and just so that you can control like where the simulations is being affected by that force field, so that you don't have like the whole force field affecting the simulation, and to create like some folds with the cloth, but for some reason it's not working, and I had to place like some cylinders here and there to just I haven't done a cloth simulation before. I can show you like we can redo this because I don't even like it right now. Like I honestly don't like it at all. So let's just redo it. That was how the simulation went. So don't worry, we're not gonna do that. And let me just restart. That's okay. It's okay. Nothing is perfect in life, you know. You always fail and you just try again, and that's okay. So I'm gonna make a plane, and I'm gonna set it to the front view like this, and I'm gonna make it tall on the z-axis, and just so when I used to do like a lot of cloth simulation, when it's like intercepting like under the world like this, on the negatives, it's just messing up the simulation for some reason. So I just learned that this way it doesn't cause like any artifacts in the simulation whatsoever. So yeah. Now wait, can you turn on dark mode on your taskbar? I'm getting flashbang. Okay, wait. Uh, Let me do that. Hold on. How is this? Is this better? I think it's better though. I think it's better now. It's okay. Like I barely noticed that it's in white mode. Give your eyes what they deserve. True. Um. So yeah. So I'm gonna start with a plane here, and I'm gonna add like some edge loops on the horizontal, and I'm gonna add like 80 edge loops, and so we're gonna have like a vertex group on the top, just so we can pin the simulation from the top and have it not be affected. And I'm gonna add the cloth tag and just go down here. And if we play it, it's gonna fall because we didn't attach like this edge to the shape, to a bin group, you know. So we made this edge be in a vertex group. So now if we go to the cloth simulation tag and we go down, where is it? To the shape, right under cache, you can see what is called the bin group. This is where you can use whatever that you have stored in a vertex group to be some kind of like a bin that can just hold the cloth in place. Can't we subdivide after we do a simulation on a lower poly version? Can't we subdivide after we do a simulation? Um, yeah, you can, but if you don't already have enough if you don't already have enough, poly count on the first simulation, like, okay, like let's say we have like this is 80 edge loops, right? If this is 40, it's not gonna be as smooth, but once you add the subdivision after, it's gonna smooth it a bit, but the interaction of any collision won't be as realistic as when you already had these, levels of subdivision before you added them. Does that make sense? So let's say we have a plane that is 40 edge loops and a plane that is 80, right? And the 80 is just a duplicate of the 40, right? So let's say you have like something that is colliding with the plane that has 40 edge loops, and the 80 edge loops also have something that is colliding with it. The collision the collision on both of the planes is going to be different, even though they're duplicates. Like, obviously, the 81 is just going to be much more smoother, you know? And the 40 is not going to be as smooth. So if you have the 40 interact in the collision, and then you subdivide it after you cached the simulation, it's not going to be as smooth as when you do like the 81. Lower res will fuck up physics. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't have to like have an insanely number of poly count, you know? Like just even like a mid body count is gonna be enough to do. Hola, Mr. Dia in the chat. Hearts in the chat for Mr. Dia. But yeah, lower res is gonna fuck up the physics, and you can always have like just a mid body count, and it's always gonna be it's gonna do the job, literally. So back to the simulation settings. So we have like the plane setup here, and this edge is gonna be the pin. So imagine if you have like a curtain, and this curtain is like hanged on something, and you like whatever wind that comes and just moves that curtain. Obviously, it's not gonna fall to the ground because it's hanged on like some pins on the wall or whatever. So this is exactly the same concept here with this bin group in the shape and cloth simulation. So, and we have this by just adding this edge in a vertex group. And now if we play the simulation, it's not gonna fall down. See, it's like it's like stretching because of the gravity. And yeah, so if we have like any force field here, like let's say a wind or something, and we rotate that wind to be like coming from the back, and let's just increase the power of that wind, and it's gonna blow on it, and it's just gonna be held from here. And the reason why I have it in horizontal edge loops, and I didn't have it in like horizontal and vertical, so it's like fully subdivided like quads. And the reason why is because I want to have it fold in like a circular manner. I want to have like the folds look at the end to be like this, you know. So, or like yeah, like in a similar shape like this. So yeah, if you have it like in a quad based topology, like 4x4s like everywhere. Is this intensive right now? What do you mean intensive? Like on the PC, on my set, on the stream, or what? I don't get it. So we're not gonna need the wind. Yeah, the simulation. The simulation, like right now, no, it's not. It's not intensive at all. I can still add like a lot of subdivisions. It was real time, wasn't it? Yeah, 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 it is, it is, it is. It's not, it's playing at full 30 frames per second, and if I just crank up the FPS in Blender, it's still gonna be playing perfectly at 60 frames. It's not intensive at all. And this is 80 edge loops, so I think you're gonna be okay if you use like something in that range. So I'm just gonna remove the wind field because that's not what we're gonna be using today. And I'm just gonna add like a vortex force field because that's what we need to do. That's what we need to use right now. Wanna try doing this for hair? Absolutely, you can. If you want me to show you right now, like we can go through it. Like, it's okay. Hair is very fun. I also like did a recent project where I used a hair simulation to do like, grass and like a spring field, flower field or something, for like a project at work. If you want me to show you, like I can pull it up and recreate it and show you like how to use the hair sims to do like something like grass or something like that, and how to handle it. Sometimes it's intensive, even on high-end PCs, but you have like a lot of ways to just optimize the scene so that it runs in a way that you can see what you're doing. And so let me know if you want me to just show you that right now, but let me just build up this force field again. And so this is a vortex force field, and what I did right now is I went to the fall off and I enabled the minimum distance and I just cranked it up. No, no, it's fine. It will be a while before my model is animation ready. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So basically this vortex force field is working in like a circular way, and it's trying to drag like the whole cloth simulation from the bottom and move it in a circular way. And we just want it to have, we want it to be moving in a way that is not dragging the whole cloth, but only like part of it. So like say for example, we want it to work here, but not like here. So we want to have like, I guess like it makes sense that we want to have like excess geometry. Um, so let's just, I'm trying to think of like a logical way to do it, like in a way that is clean and doesn't require like a lot of collisions set up. And so usually there is like settings here in the cloth simulation that lets you just put like how much of this plane is affected by the simulation. And if the simulation is being controlled by a force field, how much is this force field affecting according to like a weight paint setup on this plane? So I tried setting up a weight paint, and as you can see here, this vertex group that we built is only affecting this edge like that we just attached to it. So we can just add a vertex group and add everything to it except this. Oh yeah, why are we doing a cloth simulation? Is it a part of the word motion design? Yeah, yeah, it is, it is. It's in the, let me show you. It's in the second scene, and we can just literally, we don't have to do like one to one. Again, like we can just replicate, like we can just improve on it as well. Like we don't have to do one to one. So it's this part. See how it folds here? So is that a weight paint? Yes, it is, it is. See how it folds here? Like it folds on itself like multiple times, and that's just because I had like the thing like plane. It was long enough so that when it dragged from the bottom, there was enough geometry to be dragged up. So let's just try that, I guess. Like at the same time, it should work with a weight paint. That's so crazy. Um, so I wanted to set up. I wanna set up the weight paint in a way so that at the bottom it's not affected that much, but at the top it is by the force field. So how do we do that? That's the question. So if I go to the cloth simulation here, we have, let's have cell collisions enabled so that when it falls, it doesn't intersect in itself. So property weights, let's just have this attached here. Okay, then let's just make it smaller. See, it's like so messed up. It's crazy. Mhm. So somebody suggested that we put this weight paint in the fan group, which means that this blue is not going to be affected, but everything on top here is going to be affected by the force field. And it's not working, which is crazy. I swear, after I did this update, like this project, I made it in like Blender 4.4 or Blender 4.3 or something, I don't remember. But ever since I downloaded 4.5, I swear cloth simulation is not the same. It's, I don't know what changed, but let's just zero out the gravity here. Did you try when to blow it from bottom to top? Let's try that. I think a bunch of preset values for different kinds of cloth can be nice. There is, yeah, there is. There's cotton, denim, leather, and rubber and silk. We can, like, I tried silk, and that's what I usually choose. And the wind seems to be working nicely, actually. We can just have this be in the right in the middle. It actually, it actually is very close. Thank you for the suggestion, Amr. Thank you. Let's see. Maybe you can add some turbulence to make it, yeah. And the turbulence is just gonna make it a bit random. And now, like, I know we're seeing this upside down, but we can bake it as an Olympic and just drag it in again and rotate everything. And it's gonna look exactly how the animation looks. Okay. So let's just do it a bit more. And let's increase a bit of the randomness here. Okay. We can just give more frames here. See how it looks. It's because of the cache. Maybe make the weight paint a bit random by adding some noise. But if we do that, it's not gonna behave in the way that we want it to be because the look that we want to have is gonna be, which like I want it to be like a uniform, like flowing folds. It's not like a curtain. It's not like a curtain that is just flapping because of the wind. I just want it to be like folded over itself and just a bit of randomness, just a tiny bit of randomness. Like this is looking nice. It's looking very, very nice. It's literally very close to what we want. So I'm just gonna, we can just drag a bit more on the weight paints. Now we're talking. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, that just made it worse somehow. So, okay. Now let's just keep it the way it is. It was good. Yeah, that's better for sure. So now let's just bake it. If you want, you can increase the resolution. Like, let's just test that out right now. Let's just get like 20 quality steps or something. And let's just get like, for the collision, let's get like 10. See if that's any different. For the way it behaves, I mean, it looks okay. It looks okay. It looks okay. And then we can just add subdivision, and falls looks extremely nice here when you add the subdivision, because we had already initially like enough volley count to just have the simulation run in a smooth way. So now we can just, after we cached the simulation and baked it, now we can just export it as an Olympic and re-import it again so that we can rotate it and transform it in whatever way. Okay, and I'm just gonna drag everything here and disable it. And we import the Olympic again. And if we play, it's good. Now let's just rotate it like that, and let's look. Like imagine this is what the camera is gonna be seeing. It's gonna be the top. It would be nice if we added just a bit of a, randomness here because that looks too static. But you know what, like we can just do it like this, literally. I think it looks fine right now, and we can just move on. But Uzi, if you were asking about like if we added like um to make like the weight paint a bit random, let me show you a project that I was doing. Displacement. But displacement is not gonna work with Olympics because Olympics is still it's still a simulation. So you can't really add displacement here. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. Like it's not because it's gonna cause a lot of artifacts. It's not gonna work in the way that you're expecting it to. Let me just show you what you wanted, like what you were asking about, like the random weight paints and how it would look like. So, trying to just open one of the files here that I have. What about after bacon? No, because displacement works only with like static geometry. It doesn't work with like baked or non-baked simulations. Like you can fake that by just having a piece of geometry on top of here, and like disable the shadows that it would cast from the shading here, have it like not produce any shadows interacting with the light, and then it wouldn't look like, you can just tweak it in some ways with the shading visibility here settings, and maybe adding some normal data in the shader will do the trick. Yeah, maybe we can do that. Hold on, I'm just trying to pull up the project that I'm talking about for this curtain. Okay, here. It might be a heavy project because it's filled up with a lot of stuff. So that's a project that I didn't finish, but I just started and I left it. So it has just a bit of stuff here that I modeled, like this chair. I modeled all of these pieces here. This is just a mirror modifier on both sides. and the laptop and the phone and this cactus. It's just, a bunch of petals that I duplicated with an empty and just placed in a way that would look not too uniformly. And the animation just looks like this. So this just, and if you can see like the cloth simulation on the back here. So obviously I want it to like turn, and this is where the cut would happen and it would transition to something else. And the focus here would be something that just comes out of this, pieces of paper that I placed here. I wanted to have like something um, that I would do in 2D, that I would do in 2D, and it would just show up on this, like above of this like paper, and it would look like something like a SaaS project, you know. But anyway, like this, if you look at the cloth here, and I made like this curtain just to be like, that this is like an interior space and stuff like that. And if you can take a look here at this piece of plane, and this is how it's subdivided. It's all like quad based. It's not like, like the other piece of mesh that I have in the other project. It's just all quad based, just so that when you can do like a wind, and this is the wind field here, and I have it at like 2000 just because it's dense geometry. And this is pre-baked Alembic, by the way. Like I have the Alembic and I baked it in the same way that I baked it in the other project, and then I imported it again so that I can place it here. Because as you can see, when I press edit mode, it shows behind here, so it was just, glitching. So I had to bake it so that I can move it freely without any worry. So now if I play the animation, and you can see, if I disable everything, and you can see here, it has very nice folds. Obviously, I know that there is intersection here with this wall, but it's not showing up in the camera on this side. Because if you can see, like, I'm only showing this side of it, which is this side. So that's why it doesn't matter if there is any intersection here, because we're only seeing this side. You get what I mean? So that's just like, you don't have to do any weight paint here or anything. It's just literally subdivided plane, and a bit of the wind force field and turbulence, and you just get that result. And the wind force field is here, and it's just 2000 as well. And yeah, but I didn't finish this project yet, so but I'm excited to finish it because I put so much time into it, modeling everything. So let's go back to this thing here. So we have this established here, and I don't know if we should place the camera right now. I think let's just put this to 0. Thank you, thank you. Models look clean as fuck. Thank you, man. I'm just gonna save this really quick because I don't have it saved. Just say scene 2. Um, you can produce a lot of good stuff as long as you give it enough time. Like as long as you give everything enough time, like it's just gonna turn out so good because you have enough time to just perfect, remove, and do it again, and it's just gonna look good. As long as you have the persistence, it's gonna look good at the end because you give it like the time it deserves. And I spent on this other project like 2 days or something. Like obviously not the whole day working on it, like just like 4 or 6 hours working on it. Um, let's see. I just wanna determine like the front view here so we can place the camera and just do the rest of the assets. But what do you think? Should we go with this cloth one or just try and get something that looks even better? Like I like it, but I feel like we could do so much more better than this. Like I like how like it folds, but it's not preserving any of the folds. Consistency, yeah. But it's not keeping any of the folds. Like remember like the let me show you one of the references that we saw yesterday about like the not real projects. Um so let's see. Right man, I'm gonna hit to sleep. My sleep is already fucked right now. Night everyone. Okay, good night, Woozy. Have a good night. So this frame, it's from one of the projects from Microsoft, and obviously they are like at a different level. They're Microsoft. So see how like they have like these bunch of folds here. So that's what we're trying to replicate here. Like to have just these different folds piling up on top of each other, and you can tell like this is just an insanely long and stretched piece of geometry that is causing this fold to happen. And it's just the way that they are preserving this fold that is different. So that's what we're trying to create here. So let's see. I swear it looks good enough, but I feel like it could be more, you know? Like we can just take it to be more for sure. Yeah. Let's just transition to something else so that we don't get bored of just working on this over and over. So let's create, so let's create a curve, and we want to have like, if we look at, wait, I want to bring the animation again. So we're gonna be recreating this like the way it goes in, like this to create a document. See how it like just goes loop, 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 loop. So we want to recreate this one. So the way we're gonna be recreating this one here is we're gonna be making a curve, and we're gonna have like the geometry, a piece of geometry deforms as it goes and follow the path of that curve. So that's what we're gonna be working on right now. So let's go. Try mirroring it vertically, maybe it will look better. But if we do mirror it vertically, wait, yeah, let's try that. Hold up. Surely it will look a tiny bit better, but mm, when you shade it, it's not. It's gonna look so messed up because how are you gonna control this? Like you can't just choose this and move it back and play the simulation again. It's not gonna work, you know? Like see, it's okay in the edit mode, it's edited, but outside of the edit mode it's not. So you can't really like just merge them like this, you know? Yeah. And in the shading part, in the shading, like when we do the shading and stuff like that, it's just gonna look so messed up because it's gonna be like intersecting and it's just gonna cause weird artifacts at the end. We can come back to it again. We can come back to it again. I'm still not happy with it, like, so let's just get some progress going with the rest of the project. So we're gonna create this Bezier curve by going Shift A curve and Bezier, and gonna place a Bezier curve and just have them be a straight line by just scaling this on the Y on 0. And now we have a straight line. Now we wanna make the path that's gonna deform whatever geometry that's gonna be going. Um, so let's just create that path right now. So let's just have it to be the median point. That's a transform point. And we're gonna scale 1 point and extrude. And we're gonna rotate like this. Wait, let me see. Yeah, rotate 180. Move it a bit like that. And then we're gonna select both points. And moving this segments, moving these handles is gonna be moving like how much curvature this area is gonna be. You can delete extras. Um, let's see. I haven't tried before. No, it's not. See? It's still there. Like it's deleted in like the edit mode, but outside when you play the sim, it's just still gonna be there. Because I think it's just it's how baking works. Like it doesn't just allow you to remove geometry. And that's okay, that's okay. So we're gonna go back here to the Bezier and just keep extruding and forming the path. And I'm gonna have it look like this. And we're gonna have like a like three loops or something. Like one loop, second and third, and that's it. And like that. And this is just gonna be the end. This is like the geometry is just gonna be going from this side. So it's gonna go like here and loop like this, like this, like that. And that's what it's gonna end. So like this, and like that, and that's it. So now we have the path, and this is where the geometry is just gonna be going in. And now be like, let's just make the create a document, uh, button or piece of geometry. So let's just create that right now. So we're gonna create a plane, make it small on the z-axis, big on the x, look to the front view, look at it like this. Yeah, I never tried it too. Yeah. And we're gonna apply the scale so that we can bevel the vertices. Control Shift B. Let me turn on screencast key for the hotkeys if you're not following. Um, so I'm gonna choose all the vertices, Control Shift B, and increase the segments to like 5. Did I apply the scale? I did, yeah. And then I'm gonna inset and remove that face and just grid fill everything and choose everything and just extrude and choose this edge loop and this edge loop, and I'm gonna bevel them. And we're gonna put 2 levels of subdivision by clicking Control 2. And this is gonna be the piece of geometry where the text is gonna be. and that's just gonna be like a glass material. If we feel like it's too thin, we can just add a, again, edge loop, mark it as a seam, choose this part by hitting L, by clicking one face, and L is just gonna choose all the linked geometry to this face. Because it's a seam, so it splits everything into like two parts, because we put like this loop to be the seam. So imagine it like a knife cutting the model in half, and now we can just push it in if we wanna adjust the thickness of that part without just messing up the geometry and the edge flow. So I think that looks nice and good enough. And now let's just put the text. And I'm gonna put the 3D cursor here so we can put a Shift A and create a text. And where is it? Okay, just 90 degrees. Put it like this, and we're just gonna type. Just wait. Create a document. And then, sorry, it's just the M mutes. So create a document, and then we're gonna choose everything, go to the text settings, and we're gonna make that text small. So let's see, text boxes. Wait, where is it? Oh, I think you can just press scale and scales it down. My bad. Oh my god. What? Bro. Okay, like this. Um, like that. Let's see if we can choose a different font that looks nice, you know, like Helvetica or something. Okay, there is no Helvetica for some reason. Let's see. I mean, that looks nice. The Arial one. Wait, how do we override it? Oh yeah, okay. Here we go. That looks nice. And we just make it bigger. And it looks nice. I hope you keep on these lines because not much of this kind of motion out there made with Blender. Yeah, like, yeah, I'm gonna keep it up, and I appreciate your comment, man. Uh, I totally agree with you. Like, these types of like motion videos, they're not made in Blender. They're mostly made with Cinema 4D, and I guess it's just because it's like a legacy thing, like what people are used to in the industry. That Cinema 4D is like the only motion graphic software tool that you can use, but you can do a lot of stuff with Blender too, especially with geometry nodes. I haven't really got myself very familiarized with the geometry nodes yet, but I will in time. And I'm gonna definitely like put content with it. But I'm gonna only do like live streams because videos are just too much hassle. Like it's just oh my god. And it's just you know, enjoyable. Like do live streams. If there is people watching, you can just talk to them and you don't have to feel alone. So, you know, it's just nice. It's really nice. And I totally agree with you about like the lack of content of this stuff out there. And yeah, even if you want any help with anything, you can just literally come leave a comment or like, you know, in the chat or in the comments, and I'm more than happy to help anyone with anything. So now that we made this text, now we can just convert it like, wait, oh yeah, convert it to a mesh. So we right click, convert, and convert to mesh. And now we have a mesh of this whole text. And now we can just try and place it on the geometry and go edit mode, choose everything, and we extrude it. can just, let's not have it be too thick or too thin, just like that. And now, this is two different pieces of geometry, but we want to think about how this piece of like, let's call it like a button, this is a button, or like a call to action, like let's think about how this call to action, like create a document, is gonna be deforming. So right now it's two pieces of different geometry that are separate, and we wanna have them joined because when one of them deforms, obviously we want both of them to deform because they are at the end of the day like this is where the text is being written and this is the text, and we want the text to follow the deformation of the placeholder text. So let's just join them. So, but before we do, we want to make sure that we have enough geometry on this placeholder text so that it deforms. So if we deform this mesh in the way that it is with the poly count that it has, it's not gonna deform in a good way because there is not enough poly count. So we want to have enough edge loops here and edge loops here so that it deforms in a way that looks nice and not and there is like not much artifacts. So let's just add enough edge loops here and we can add like 30 or let's add 45. It looks enough. Of course, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for your comments. I appreciate it, man. You are the man. You are the man. And we can add like 8 edge loops here on the horizontal. And now if you can see, like we almost have even topology, even quad-based topology. Almost, almost. Obviously, it's not too perfect because of the round corners here that we have because of the bevel, and that's okay. It's more than okay. So now we can just merge both of them by clicking join. And we're gonna notice right away that this text is, it's messed up. Why? Because we have a subdivision level. And that's because we have a subdivision level here. And if you, like, whatever that is the active selection, so that's a tip. If you choose like two objects and you wanna join them together, whatever that have the orange highlight or whatever that you chose last, it's gonna have like this bright orange highlight, and that means like, look, this is like not as bright orange. It's a bit, of a reddish orange, and this is a brighter orange. So that means that this is the active selection. Or whatever last thing that you select for selecting multiple objects, it's gonna be the active selection. So when you try to join two objects, the last thing that you select is gonna be whatever data that it has, any modifiers or anything, it's gonna carry over to every piece of geometry that you're joining it to. So that's why when we join the text and the board, the subdivision is carried over to the text as well, and it's affecting it. But we don't want to have the subdivision affect the text, so we can just select the board and select the text, and when we join them, it's not going to affect it. Now, when we look at the modifier tab, they are both one object, but there is no subdivision level, because now we're only basically in the state of the text itself, with no modifiers and nothing on it. So now we make sure that everything looks okay, and now I know that the text doesn't have, that good of a geometry, but oh well, like it's okay, like it's not gonna be too much noticeable, and it's gonna look okay at the end. So we can just get this to start from here, because we're gonna have this text just loop like that. And we wanna have a curve modifier here on it, and then we're gonna choose this curve to be the active curve. Obviously, it looks very weird right now. And you can check this video, I made it lately. Send the link. Send the link in the chat. I'm gonna check. Is it like a project that you worked on, or what is it? So now you just want to have this board text or text board, or the piece of geometry that you're gonna be deforming. You want to have it to be lining up with the curve that you're gonna be using to deform that text. So you have it like this, and now if we animate the location of this whole mesh to the end here, let's see what happens. So let's go to the beginning here and location. Let's move like this much frames, and we animate it on the x-axis, and let's just move it like that, just to illustrate the deformation. So that's how it's going to be moving. Obviously, we don't want it to end up here. But that's okay because we can control the curve and add more. And you can add more and it's not going to be affecting anything whatsoever in what we did so far. And that's good. So now we can just have it end here. And let's have that be 180 degrees like this. And like that. So we want it to end here. Wait, actually, I have a better idea. I sent it, but it's deleted. Uh, wait. Wait. You can hold on. Let me try and access your profile and yeah. Wait, you have the video on your channel? Because I can't see it. Like look, I'm in your channel right now. And I can't see any content on it. I sent it, but it's deleted. Last one. There is nothing. Am I viewing the wrong thing? I'm just gonna keep going until you tell me, uh, you know, how can I access that? Because I can't find it on the channel. We can animate like whether we have the modifier enabled or not, and we can just literally put a keyframe for it here at the end and just disable it right after and put a keyframe down. And we can just animate the location again from here and like this so that it lands right in front of the cloth simulation that we have. Oh, Instagram. Okay. Wait. But again, how can I access that? I don't have the link. It's not on the YouTube as well. Wait. Can I just search your name on Instagram? And it's gonna show up? Let me try that. You can send like the username. Yes, okay. Here. I'm Ramin86. Hold up. Okay. Okay. Sorry for the flashes. Oh, damn. This one? Wait, because of the quality? Quality of maybe the internet? Damn. Nice. Clean, man. That is actually clean. Does it have a sound or am I deaf? What? Yeah, yeah, no, I have it here. I have it here. You can see it though, right? Looks really nice. So you did the whole like you did everything in Blender and then you assembled it in After Effects. Like I can assume that this is for sure card that you did in Blender. Like this, not the texture, but like the deformation of the card itself. And this like stack bile fall, this is in Blender for sure, right? Looks really nice though. Looks really nice. It's awesome, man. Very, very good. But you did though? Like you did everything in Blender and then you assembled the scenes at the end in After Effects to have them like, um like blend between each other. Of course, man. Okay, so let's just remove the modifier thing that we did here. No sound. Yeah. I was trying to make sure. Oh my god. Um, so let's see. And just drag this back. Let's have it be like this. 180. And like this. Here is a trick. The animation After Effects. Of course, man. Wait, so you did the animation in After Effects, but the model, so you did like the modeling, and then you exported FBX and you put it in After Effects or what? I'm just waiting for you to answer me, Amr. And have it like that. And rotate it like this. And like that. That's how it's gonna end. Now fill up from the front. And just drag this like that. And boom. And we can just speed up the transition here by going to the graph editor, modeled and rigged in Blender, and exported as GLBS. Okay, okay. Yeah, because After Effects doesn't support FBX. I remember that. I remember that. I read about that somewhere. Because back in the day, like when Cinema 4D was like most known for like motion graphics and stuff, you just literally can take everything from Cinema 4D and link it to After Effects, and it just works like that without having to worry about like the you know GLBS or not and stuff like this. So it's just crazy simple, like the integration between Cinema 4D and After Effects, and it's crazy powerful too. Okay, so now we have this. Make it a bit faster. Answering takes too much time to get to you. Really? Um, wait. I don't have any delay on the chat for the stream. Like literally zero. Let me make sure to like let me make sure. Hold up. I'm trying to figure it out right now. See if it's if there is like a delay or not, but I think there is no delay. Is it that it takes time for you to send it or that it takes time for me to answer what you sent? Because I have no delay on the stream. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. C4D is awesome, but you know, if we can afford it, you know, Blender is free. That's why it's king, literally, and it has so much potential. And now we can place the camera and start looking at this project from a way that, you know, let's just split the view here so we can have the timeline at the bottom and the graph editor here. So whenever we want to do something in the graph editor, we can just do everything right away because that's how I like to split like, you know, the whole Blender project. And now we can just split this in half. This is going to be the viewport where we work, and this is going to be the camera. And we disable everything that doesn't need to be shown. We just place a camera and reset all the rotation for it and have it 90 degrees on the x-axis so that like this, and we go to the settings of the camera, viewport display, the best part out, this part. You just make it all the way on 1 so that you can only see what the camera sees, not any noise, no you to answer. Okay, so that means that there is a delay on my end. Let me see. I didn't change anything since yesterday, so I don't know how is there a delay. It's so crazy. But I'm sorry if there is. I'm gonna make sure that next time it doesn't be like that. It doesn't do that. So I'm sorry for this time. Um, but still, like, if you wanna say anything, like, obviously just talk, you know? Like, it's okay. I'm gonna answer you for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna place the camera here, and we're gonna do the same tricks that we did yesterday with the just putting an empty, control the camera itself, rotation of the camera, and I'm gonna have it placed in a way so that it's right in front of the camera. So think of it like a focal point for the camera. If we ever use like a depth of field or not, but we're not gonna be using. So select the camera and select the empty to be last and go to parent and parent to object. And now if we move this empty, the camera is gonna be moving. So now let's just set up the camera by 45 degrees, minus 45 degrees. Okay, let's just... Screencast keys is so bulky. Oh my god. Let's just have it be at 10. And let's place it down like that. And oh my god, the font is so. This is okay. Yeah, okay. So, of course, man. So let's just have it to be at like 15 degrees. And we want to start this in a way that it's like here. So it's like out of the view, and we start like this, and it's like that. Takes very, very long to get there, so let's just have it be 90, like 90 frames. The camera is very dialed in, and so if you are not sure about like the viewport and what you're seeing, you can just go to the viewport display in the camera settings, composition guides, and enable the thirds and center and diagonal, and enable the overlay in the viewport. Make sure that you're seeing these lines in the camera, and this is gonna help you to determine like if your stuff is centered or not. And with motion graphics, it's just always helpful to just have everything be centered. Everything is just a bit symmetrical and clean, So yeah. And once you're set up, once you have like everything set up in a good way, now that we're looking at the camera, we're seeing that the folds are not really appearing, so we can just drag this down a bit, like this. And that looks nice already. We can still rework that cloth because I don't like it. And we can just position it in a way so that we don't see this end. Yeah, that's better for sure. That's better. Like I obviously don't like the bottom part here, so that we're gonna be reworking this. So, and we're almost very done here with everything. But I feel like I still don't like the camera. I feel like the camera should be like we want the camera to be more dynamic. So it would come from here and it would end here. So let's say that we start looking here and we animate this and we go here and we start like that. And now if we get the Z rotation and focus on it here in the graph editor and we get the curve, the graph editor is literally the, the most amazing game to play when you animate stuff because you can just get stuff to look so clean and feel really nice by just controlling the graph editor. So if we want to have this be like a bit more of an impact, just the same with like the first scene that I made yesterday, we can just grab the handle type, press V to change the handle type, and there's two handle types that you're mostly going to be using, free or aligned, and vector as well. Free is like you're literally breaking the link between the bezier handles. And so in the case right now, you can orbit cam from bottom to top. Um, let's see, like this. Oh wait, just have the camera itself. It's gonna look too cinematic. I feel like it's it's like that meme like William Dafoe, and it's just in that movie, and he's like looking from the bottom on the top. Oh my god, it's crazy. I mean, maybe, but I feel like it looks too cheap like that, you know? Surely it's a bit better. We see more folds, and we can just drag this up. So the way of the shape and word can be more shown. Oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the shape is already gonna be shown when we do the textures because look. I'm gonna show you what I mean. Like if we just literally add a bunch of textures right now, um, so we're gonna choose the board and add a material to it, and we're gonna call it glass.
Keep your music
And now
flowing.
we're just gonna
Download your favorite
wait,
tracks and listen to them ad-free with Spotify Premium.
Control I to
Hit
inverse
play and
selection and
preview
select
tracks
the
now
word
and
because
cancel
it's the rest.
anytime.
Since it's
Plan to
one
earn more.
mesh, so you have to separate the materials for them. So this is gonna be a different material than this, and this is just gonna be an emission shader, literally, with a value of 5 or something. And this, it's just gonna be a glass BSDF, and that's how it looks, Ricky. So if we have like an HDRI, so let's add a quick HDRI now. Um, and generate world nodes and just have this be like a 180 degrees. And the HDRI is gonna show up in the background. So let's add like a mesh here with a solid color. And it's gonna be like this. We're gonna move it all the way in the back because we don't want to see the shadow of this plane casting on the background. And so, and let's say that this is just gonna be like a any pastel color, like something like this, maybe. Any just pastel color. And we look at the HDRI, let's make it like 100. Or like maybe we can just try a different HDRI to see different lights. It's too much. Oh my god. This one, does the job, I guess. So it's just a quick setup for the light so we can see our material. And like you see here, it's just a glass board and this emission. And later when we export everything, and if you add this to like After Effects, or if you want to do the post-processing here, you can just add all the good stuff like the glow and all that, and it's just gonna look, it's gonna pop. It's gonna pop more. Or if you can just crank up like the emission here. But I think it's just not gonna be doing that much difference here. Unless we add the glow in post-processing, but I really don't care about post-processing in Blender. I like to do it in After Effects because it's way better. Now that we have this cloth, we can just animate the color ramp, or not animate it, but just place colors on the color ramp and attach a gradient texture and have it be a mapping and UV so that we UV unwrap the whole thing and smart UV. And now we can just add a bunch of colors here like orange and like this purple, and let's add something like this one, and let's add like a blue color like this. I think that looks nice. And we can just flip the whole thing and let's take a look at the animation. Okay, where's the folds, man? Oh, it's because of the it's because we're in the edit mode. Oh my god. What the fuck? So let's just rotate everything. Let's take a look at it here. Yeah, okay. We want it to be like this. So 270. And let's just make this a bit hotter. Like this. Like hot colors and warm colors. And against like colder colors. XD, I know, I know. And last one is just gonna be, let's just leave it how it is. Damn, these colors are not good. So we want to fix this one. Yeah, that is good. That is good. I think that's good enough. Now let's take a look at the animation, and it should fold like this. And if you want to show a bit like, you can reverse it to have something similar to the animation that was in in the YouTube. And we can just push this like that and push this up. So we show a bit more of the orange, but I think the orange is not gonna move because the folds are not moving. So we can just move it like that. I think it looks good that way. Because now if we take a look like this, see it's very, we're getting there. Now we can just add light, like an area light. We don't need to do that right now, but let's just set it up because why not? To like appreciate what we did so far. And it's just because it's a huge number because the scale of everything is just it's huge. Everything is huge in the scene, and that's okay. But again, the colors or like the light feels so flat. Okay, let's just do like a 264 and let's lower the HDRI to like 0.5, and I'm gonna have this to be an emissive background. No, it's not gonna work. Let's keep the other one. Actually, let me check the animation one more time because I forgot what I added. Oh, okay, okay. I remember now. I added like a gobos in the background. Um, so let's just make it like that, and we're gonna keep the HDRI the way it is, and we're gonna remove this area light. Gonna change this like something very subtle, like that. I think this looks nice, like as a color. And now we can just add gobos by adding a spotlight and rotate the spotlight like this, like on the X 45 degrees and Z 45. And we want the gobos to be casting on the plane and on the background here. So the way we're going to be doing this is we're going to be adding a node to control the emission and the shadows of that spotlight. So we're going to add like a image texture, and we're going to add a color ramp between it and between the emission shader to control the gobos later when we add it. So I have a lot of gobos saved up. Let's add like a grid, or let's add like a windows maybe. Something like this, like stripes. And we're not gonna be seeing it right away. And that's because we need to adjust the radius of the spotlight. Be like 0.1, And we want to increase the energy here very high. I just want to make sure it's working first. Where is it pointing at, man? Oh my god. I can't see. Oh, okay. Here. Okay. Now we can just add more. Okay, it's getting there. That's just 5,000. And that's only because of the scale of everything. So we can just rotate like that and like this. And we can just make it even more pronounced. And if we want to have that shadow to be soft and not very like sharp like this, and it's not fading, we can just increase the radius a bit, 0.5, and now it's just instantly, softer. But let's just make it like, something in between like 0.3. It's not too sharp or too soft, and, let's make it even bigger, like 10,000. And let's rotate it around this like that. Okay, because I want it to affect this. We're gonna get back to this because I don't like it. I don't like the colors at all. So let's just play with it for a bit. This is so... Oh my god. Yeah, this is cool. This is cool. This is cool. This is nice. Um, Now if we take a look. Oh yeah, we didn't adjust the camera animation. Let's just fix it up right now. So let's just do the handle type. And in the handle type, for any Bezier, this is like the Bezier curve. It has like two handles on both ends. And if you move one handle, there is almost always a link between both of the handles on each end of one segment, or like one point of the Bezier curve. And if you move one handle, the other handle moves because there is a link that, have them both. So if you break the link between them, you can just control one handle without affecting the other. And in Blender, you do that by just changing the handle type by pressing V and choosing free, and it's just gonna free up the handle that you chose. It's gonna free up both of them. So you can move this like that, and now you're instantly gonna have a different feel to the motion of the camera. And let's just have it. See, it's like, I know this is like not big, so let's just scale it up so it covers everything. And the camera just shoots out. Nice. Okay, and that's good. And one more thing to explain here in the curves, or like with dealing with any Bezier, like the handle types. If you like, let's say like you don't like it anymore, like you just wanna bring it back, you can obviously just, Control Z to bring it back. And let's say you wanna have this, like let's say like you have this like that, right? Like you have this handle like this. Now you wanna have this handle like be lined up with this, so you can change the type or the state of this handle to be aligned, or like this one to be aligned, and it's just gonna line them up, both of them. So like the handle type is like obviously affecting both handles. So just always experiment with these states because it literally gives you a lot of freedom that, it's like an unlocked potential basically when it comes to animation. So yeah, just keep an eye out for this one because it's good, it's good. Okay, so we're gonna keep it like that, and I'm happy with it. And let's just again scale this up some more. Let's take a look at the gobos. So the gobos looks right in this way, but I want the gobos to be also rotating along with the camera, like as the camera is rotating. So we're gonna see like where the camera ends in the frame. It ends here on 83, so we want to keep the gobos to be at the same frame here. We're gonna animate the location rotation, and we're gonna rotate them in a way so that this end frame, so that the first frame looks nice. This is not bad actually. It's really good. So if we play it, and we can see that the light moves, and it doesn't have to be animated, but when it stays like that, you almost get a feel like it's just static, and nothing is happening anymore because we want to add some movement to the camera still. So let's see, the camera ended at like 84 or 83. So we're gonna start moving it from here. We're not gonna use the rotation, we're just gonna like have it zoom in and create a document like this. And we wanna make sure that everything is centered. Okay, looking nice. And now we can just place the keyframes. And these doesn't have to be, you know, like fast or slow. It's just very subtle movement to not have everything feel static. And once we get here, everything should have happened already. Like we have from 80 to like 205 and on 60 frames a second. So we have like one, like two, three, and we have it like 4 seconds. That would feel like it's enough. So it should end like around 6 times 4, so it's 240. So it should end here. So we want to have this be closing the frame at 240. So we're gonna place a keyframe here, and we're gonna have it to be at like 180, because that's like another second to just close everything, and it's gonna close it by just by going like this. And let's take a look. Okay, we're still gonna speed it up, and when it goes like that, so we're gonna stop the animation at 240 here. Now we want to play everything, and that's how it ends. Okay, now we want to have the control the curve of this last frame, and we want to remember that we didn't just move the rotation axis, we also did some movement on the x-axis. So we want to have both of them be ending in a fast way, so that when we try to like make a looping animation of it, it would loop in a good way, in a way that that the camera doesn't feel like it's too artificial. So let's take a look here. Let's just make sure that this end frame, everything is looking good. And we also want to look at the gobos before we control this last part. So let's look at the gobos, starting from 180 to 240. So we're gonna be placing a keyframe here for both. And at 240, we want to look at the render view and check for how the gobos are looking. Yeah, I mean, if it rotates like that, let's see. Yeah, see, because look at the shadows. They're almost like completing a loop, which is nice, which is good, and that's what we want. Yeah, that's good, that's good. And now let's just control the curve of the end animation here. And we don't want to, like, just the way we started, is first handle shoots up. That's how we want to end as well. We want it to like shoot from down to up, so because this shoots from, up to down, or like up to like rest, and it shoots here from just resting and boom, like all of a sudden. So we want to have this to be down. So think about it like this. This is like chilling, chilling, resting, and just boom. There is an impact at some point. And same thing here. It starts with an impact and then it rests and it lets you like realize what the impact was. So now we take this keyframe or this handle and we free the state of the handle and we just drag it down. Let's check the camera animation. So it's almost like a snappy animation. Let's remove all the overlays. And now instantly, because you have 60 FPS, this just feels too clean. And now we have just a bit of a problem. And this is not centered at all. So let's fix that. Um, okay, we want to have this be here, and this be here as well. And now let's take a look. Yeah, looks nice. Looks very nice. Now we can just add the rest of the elements, like a word icon and stuff like that. Like I added here editing and this like a profile icon, and I added like this T for typing, and I added like a bit of like a glass star animations here and there. I still, oh my god, I just wanna have it fold like that, man. Oh my god, what did they do to the cloth simulation, bro? So crazy. So let's just, yeah, the rest of the assets are just gonna be like minor details that are gonna be like here and there, and it's just gonna fill up the scene, which is okay. And we can just do that really quick. Okay, so let's see. So the first one is just gonna be the letter T, and we can just literally do that using a text. And T is, shortcut for text, I guess. It's what they use in every piece of software. So yeah, and we just convert that to mesh, and right away doesn't look really clean. And if we wanted to add like any smoothing for this, it's just gonna look so bad. Just because everything is disconnected and it's not, see, like this is connected to what? Like this is literally, bro, like it's just bad. So let's try and fix this. So we're just gonna merge these two vertices. Why you not using 5.0? I'm whatever you want to do, you're gonna be doing it even in like 2.5 if you want. Because yeah, like it's not really that much of a big deal, but I will definitely switch. Just to keep up with like the updates and what's new and just get used to it. So, but at the end of the day, it's just a tool and it's just another update. It's not a massive like difference. Except like Vulkan and stuff like that they added and like the subdivision and the way booleans are handled. I don't use booleans that much as well. So that's why like I don't really mind the update because I don't use booleans. But booleans could be really useful for people who try to like iterate ideas and like um try to get like very quick ideas out using just quick models without worrying about the topology. But I'm just so used to like doing topology and stuff like that. So that's why it's not really, it doesn't really matter to me, if they did like this boolean or not. Surely it matters in some ways though. Oh, I muted. My bad. It's because of the I must have because when I press M, yeah, when I press M, yeah, yeah. But yeah, yeah, like I was saying, I forget to switch. I forgot to update. I'm definitely gonna update the software to 5.0. But the reason is I didn't, or the reason I forget all the time is just because I consider it like a tool, and to me, it doesn't add a lot if I update to 5.0 right now, because I don't have that many problems with the version that I have right now. That's why I'm not like, oh my god, like 5.0 is out, I need to get it like ASAP. Like it's okay, I'm gonna get it anyways, like just to keep up with the updates. But just it's not like it's gonna make a huge difference. Because like I was trying to say that whatever you wanna do in 5.0, you can do it in even 3.5 version. So it's like you can still do it. It's just a tool, and maybe it just gives you um a lot of easy stuff to do right now, like a lot of like friendly features and that makes your life easier on the way. I hope. I didn't check everything that they added yet, but I hope they did. Maybe you can try Boolean to hide the extras instead of deleting them. You're right, actually. But I think it's still not gonna work. I just ended up selecting everything. That's so funny, bro. And I keep selecting like different edges. I ended up selecting everything. Anyways, so I guess that's just gonna be good here. I'm gonna try the Boolean trick, but I still don't believe it's gonna work because no matter what, like Olympic doesn't allow you to do that. It's still gonna show up in the simulation. But let's try it anyways. Because why not? What are we gonna lose? So let's do this. That's okay. Uh, okay. So here is a cube. Let's do it like that. And I hope it doesn't crash because there's a lot of geometry. Okay, we caught it. We caught it. Now let's play it. Wow, that actually worked. Damn. Okay. Now there is a way to deal with it. What the fuck? I have never tried that. That is crazy. That is so crazy, bro. No way. And you can animate this now to like reveal the rest. Bro, no fucking way. No shot. Oh my god. No way. Let's see if it works with animation actually. That would be so crazy. Oh my god. How did I don't know why I didn't think of that, but thank you so much, man. That's actually fucking crazy. Let's see. Let's put it like this. And now let's hide it. And it does. Wow. Wow. I did not try that before. That's a new one. Wow. Actually. Thank you, Amr. Thank you. Thank you for the suggestion. Good idea. Very, very good. And now let's have this be floating somewhere. So we have it float like here. Damn, man. Let's see. We can have it like rotate like this. So let's animate this from here. Wait, actually. I am on fire. You are, man. You are. So let's do like a rotation around the z-axis. And the reason why we're doing this is because we're gonna add a noise modifier to the keyframes. So in the graph editor, you can just come here, open like the transformation and click on the Euler, Z Euler rotation and go to the modifiers, add modifier and add noise. Right off the bat, the noise is just gonna be very, very, very chaotic. If we play, it's just gonna be like, jagged motion. It's not really subtle. It's like, it's just, it's all over the place. So we can just make the scale of the noise very, very big. And now let's just watch it. It's just
Always
gonna
on
be
the
like
lookout for
drifting.
new tunes?
It's like
Spotify
held in the
Premium
air
lets
by
you listen to
something
a
and it's just,
catalog of millions of songs
floating
with
there.
high-quality
And
audio.
we can do the same
Get
thing with
3
like
free months
the
now and cancel
with the
anytime.
location
Tap the
by adding
card to
some
learn
noise to
more.
just have it be floating and just, like imagine if it's like space and it's just floating in space there. So that's like the vibe that we're after for these for these types of assets here. So let's see. Let's move it on the Y and on the X without touching the Z. And we're gonna add the same thing here. Noise, scale that noise. Wait, what? Okay. Then we're gonna scale that noise. Now let's take a look. So, and in the Y, you wanna focus on it and add again a noise and just scale it up. Doesn't have to be the same much, and now it's just, very subtle motion. If we look at it here, very subtle motion. So this is because, there is no rules here. Like you're literally your mind is your imagination here. Like why is it doing this? Because, it's in space. So if we take a look at like the whole scene, it still doesn't look the best. And I think we're still gonna be needing to adjust a bit of the light here. Like I think 2 is good. And we can rotate until we find something that looks nice. This is very dramatic. I like this, but let's just reduce it. No, 0.5 is good actually. Like 0. No, that's too much dark. 0.5. 270. I think yeah, 300 is okay. And 0.6, okay, 0.45. We're gonna, let's see. I don't wanna I feel like it's so flat still. Is this good? Is the zero like is it too dark or not? We can still add like if we go here, put the cursor here, we can add like an area light and we can add like some kind of like a something that sits actually actually we can just have it like this and light up this, you know? I like the feel that was here, like there was like a lamp lighting it in a way. We can just even place it behind it, like behind the glass itself. In the front, it's not really. On the back is good. Let's see. Maybe it could be like a. Oh, that actually could be good. To have this like highlight. Once like the animation, that could actually work. That could look nice. To have it like highlight like this. So we can have it be about of 8 maybe. No, that's too much. I think about a 5 is good. And it would do this. So it would. Let's see. So the camera stops here. And we're gonna put a keyframe in the power and the location of this light. And we're gonna uh, just go a bit of add a looping torus and a ball interacting among themselves in the background. Then add a glass shader. Add a glass shader in the wet. We're gonna do that torus idea. I like it. But just complete your message. You said add a glass shader in the wet. So we want to have this lamp moving from here to here, like that, and this like that. Yeah, so it's like a highlight streak. Looks nice. Yeah, looks really nice. And we have this. And wait, so you said add a looping torus and a ball interacting among themselves in the background. So you want to have a torus and a ball interacting. So like the ball would be going inside of the torus or what? Because we can just add a torus like that on both items. Oh, okay. I think it would look too much if we added like a glass on both of them. I think it would look so much like it would look too much noise, you know. Like we can definitely add a torus here on the background, like a floating torus. We're gonna change that torus. We're just trying to figure out like the composition. But Torah's idea is good. Torah's idea is good. I like it. Um, we can, if you would like, we can do like a soft body simulation on it, have it feel like a jelly almost, you know? Like we could do that with the ball. So like we can add a ball, and but let's make it in a way that it's subdivided. So we make a cube, add 2 levels of subdivision, and you put a cast modifier, put the cast modifier on one, and apply both of them. Should a small one in size. Okay, okay, okay. Let's actually do the jelly soft body simulation feel. So we're making a subdivided ball right now. So we added two levels of subdivision and a cast set to one, and now I'm gonna add two levels of subdivision again. Oh my god. And then another cast and set it to one, and that's just to spherify the cube if it's not spherified. So now we apply everything, shade it smooth, and now we have a good subdivided ball that if we literally drop anything on it during a simulation, it won't cause any artifacts whatsoever. So this is a ball ready to be simulated in a physics way. So let's see. Um, I'm trying to figure this out. Like I'm trying to figure out like how would they look? Okay, because this is what the camera is gonna be seeing here, right? That's the main frame. So if the torus is here and we have the ball here as well, it's too much heavy emphasis on the eyes to just look there rather than look here. And think of like the main hero of the composition itself. It's gonna be like whatever that's the camera centering on. You don't want to have the eyes of the viewer be like everywhere when there is an animation and movement and motion design. You just want to have the eyes of the viewer be guided toward a goal that is, when the eye lands on it, it feels satisfying. It doesn't feel like there is too much noise and the eyes don't know what to look at. So you don't want to have like too much going on in the composition. So like for example, we have this animation going, like this word or sentence coming in. So this is already going too fast, right? And it's just, if the animation plays, it's grabbing your attention. So if we have this in the background, the only way we can add them without just hurting the animation or the main idea of the whole composition is just to have them blurred in the background. So yeah, that's literally the only way. Same size like T to balance the visuals on both sides. Okay. You know what? Wait. Let's just keep the torus right now. Let's not worry about the torus. Let's do the soft body simulation between the T and the ball. So let's add a physics simulation, soft body. And I have never done soft body in Blender. So let's see, I'm gonna be literally figuring this out for the first time. So 240 is the last one. Goal, stiffness. So if we just play this right now, it's just gonna float there. Immediately everything is just laggy. Okay, oh, it's only because it's caching. Okay. So let's see. Edges, bull, and bush. So this soft body right now, it has a bull and bush on it. And it has a damp, aerodynamics, stiffness, self-collision. Let's enable self-collision. We're gonna need that. Field weights. So we do have gravity. Why is it not falling if there's gravity? So if we disable the gravity, does it float? It floats. Okay. Okay, it floats. So what if we add a collision to this? Then we move this close to here. So when this letter is moving, let's see if they're interacting. Oh my god, it's very laggy. So one way to just make these simulations run in a good way, let's just add a decimate modifier so we can keep the poly count, you know, in a way that doesn't break everything. Let's just hide anything that is not necessary. So let's hide this and that, and let's just keep it. Now let's look. Oh my god. Okay, let's just bake it then. Because since it's just gonna be Very annoying like this. And it's slow. Damn. We're just gonna check how it looks. If it looks like ass, then we're not gonna keep going. So we're gonna stop it. Physics doesn't like small-sized items? Hmm, maybe you're right. I mean, we're gonna test and see. I'm not gonna like do all the frames unless we make sure that it looks okay. Oh my god, what the fuck? Um, so why does it do that? Is it because we decimated? I don't think so. Right? I don't think so. We didn't even decimate after this before the soft body, so it doesn't really matter. It's just only for display features. Display purposes, I mean. Let's look at the collision here. Soft body and cloth. Inner single-sided friction. So we want to have the friction to be not too high. Wait 1 second. Okay, okay. Um, so we want to have the friction to be a bit low, and let's see if that solves it. Yeah, we're only testing. And we're gonna experiment, make it bigger, see if that helps. If it's actually like a problem with the size, then let's make it bigger, and in theory it should, it should look okay. Or better at least. I'm gonna stop around like the 30 frames. Okay, okay, it's the same thing. So we can just literally avoid this, right? Add a cloth simulation, and we're gonna do the same thing. Just disable the gravity. I have this float like this, and everything is gonna be affected. Enable self-collision, and just play the simulation. And it's just gonna be affected by it. So imagine if this was like a balloon or something. And if we had like let's see, like two of that. Oh, what? Why is it not duplicating? Okay, never mind. Um, okay. So we can have it like this, and since there is no other simulations here that is going on in the world, so if it doesn't work, we can skip the idea. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No worries, no worries. Uh, but we can just make this like that, make it a bit bigger. Okay, so it's messing up the collisions, and it's probably because the collision here. Okay, wait. Oh, I think I know why. It's just because there is not enough quality here. So let's just make this like silk, make it 20, and go down to the collisions, increase the collision quality steps, and let's see, like a sneak peek on it. It's durable. Let's lower the tension. or like, I mean the shear. And let's lower the bending here, like 0.005. Same thing here. And let's see how it looks. Okay, oh, let's lower this as well. And let's just make the shear 0. And shear is just gonna make it so that, oh, let's just disable the decimate as well. What? What the fuck is that? Oh my god. I forgot that the decimation was enabled. Let's just remove the decimate. Why is it doing that? What the hell? It's gonna look a bit laggy, but that's okay. All for the purpose of the it looking good at the end. Having it be interactive, that's not bad. So what we can do is just literally animate it to go into the T and fold on it. And we're gonna see how that works. Okay, so... Oh wait, not animate it. We wanna animate this one. Okay, so... Then that means that we're gonna have to delete the Y. So let's just place it on top of the T. And animate the T to be going up. Wait, how many? Oh my god. Okay. So we're gonna be animating the Z value. And it's just gonna animate like that. So that it pushes it upward. Well, let's see. Okay. Gonna push it even more like this. So that it makes an impact with it. And now we're gonna go here and just bake right away. So we don't have to like view it in real time and have it be laggy like this. So we're gonna stop soon and just rebake it again. Okay, it interacts, but it's clipping. Oh, it's only because we stopped the bake. Okay, so it's moving with it. But we have these artifacts here, like these balls, that we don't want to have, so what if we just... Yeah, if we added the subdivision, it just makes it pronounced even more. So we don't want to have these balls like showing up like that. So let's just change the settings to like cotton. See how that looks. And that's okay, like to just use different presets for it. So let's see, let's bake it again. We're gonna bake until like 100 frames and we're gonna stop and see. So, okay, let's stop here. Now let's look. And it's just screwed up. Oh my god, that's crazy. It's most definitely because of the... Maybe... Let's see if we can just... If we apply the scale, does it make any difference? It doesn't. Okay. Let's see. Let's just make sure that it's not affecting by any force field. Okay, doesn't make a difference. Is there any... What happened? It's okay, it's okay. We're gonna figure it out. It's just the collisions for sure. So we want to have it to be like... Okay, now it's working finally. It's just the self collisions distance was a bit too high, and it wasn't, like far enough for the vertices to not be colliding and causing these artifacts. So I think okay, we should be good. Once we pick this, it should look amazing at the end. And we should have this letter interact with the ball and have a nice result. Mm. So let's see. Let me drink some water, bro. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. It doesn't look bad. Looks nice. What? What is the camera? The hell? Okay. Let's see. So there's definitely something wrong with the collision here. Okay. Because it's not the same distance as the collision here. So let's just match them to make sure that we don't have a problem with it. So let's just make sure of the number. So we set it here to be 0.005. So here it should be the same. Now let's pre-pick it again. It should be better now. Sorry, let me just pick it again. It should be better now. Uh. I swear 3D is so fun. I swear. It's just because of all that stuff that you just, you're gonna experiment back and forth and just see what works. If this doesn't, you just go back and test something else. Okay. Okay, so, oh my god. Maybe it's the preset. Nice. Like, oh my god. Maybe it's the preset. Okay, rubber is very nice. Rubber is very nice. Let's just go with rubber, bro. Okay, we're gonna leave the same settings and we're gonna bake. Who needs cotton anyways? Bro, let's just do rubber. Like have some jiggle physics going. Let's see. It should look right this time. It should look right. Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Now tell me if that doesn't feel like jelly, bro. Tell me if that doesn't feel like jelly. I swear it does. I swear it does. Oh my god. We actually fucking cooked. What is that, bro? I don't know what I enabled. Ah, okay. Uh, I swear we cooked. I swear we cooked. Okay, now let's just put everything back except this bullion and now let's work on the Taurus. We finished the, the rubber ball. Now let's work on the Taurus. Oh, I swear it looks nice. It looks nice. Nice, nice. Not bad, not bad. Now what can we do with the Taurus here? Can we do anything with the Taurus? Hmm. Um, I'm thinking. What can we do with the Taurus here? We can fold the cloth on it, like a piece of cloth. But how would it look according to this? Like in accordance with that? So we have to think about this as well. Um, or we can have like we can have this be like some kind of like a wheel. I don't know. Why would it be a wheel? Why would it be a wheel? Hmm. I'm just thinking. Ah, we can add like a circle, bend the whole torus, but it's like if we add like a subdivision, it's just gonna look like that. So it doesn't really matter if we bend it or not. Like bend the path to be like going in and out of itself, like a Mobius strip. Um, so we can do that. We can just have the torus be like this, and just be floating on the outside, or we can just do like the profile icon, like the sign. Um, we can make like this icon in 3D, and we can just have it float in the same way that this T is floating, and we can just add a texture on it and stuff like that, and it should look nice in the world at the end. Um, so any thoughts? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? I'm just gonna do it until we see if somebody has any different ideas or not. Um, how was it again? Oh yeah. And so let's just add a circle, and I'm gonna isolate it, and I'm just gonna fill it with F and inset. Remove the interface, grid fill, make everything just looking nice for the world. What about the above inspo? Which one? This? Left or middle or right? Choose one. Which one are you talking about? This one? Yeah, it has like the thing, like the rubber thing on it.
Fill your day with good vibes. With Spotify Premium, you can set a nonstop soundtrack for the day ahead. Start 3 free months now and cancel anytime.
So what do you
Tap the
think?
banner to learn more.
There's definitely more stuff you can do here. A lot of stuff. We can do this effect on create a document. Like we can make this cursor and have this like wave propagating effect happening after the cursor would just show up, flick, or like impact the created document, and then it just creates a wave, and this wave would be just propagating. We can do that for sure. I would like to do that. So we're gonna be doing this one, and um, we can add like this effect as well because they have two balls here, so it's really not a distraction. Because also because the board is big enough to not be like distracting the eye on the what's happening on the sides. It's only just a filler, so we can just do something like that. So let me just make the sign really quick because I want to include it anyways. So we did the topology here, and that's just gonna be where the signs is resting, and we're gonna add a bevel, and let's just apply the scale, add a bevel with 3 segments and a shape profile of 1, add 2 levels of subdivision, shade smooth, and now we're gonna make another circle, and shape it like this, make it smaller, like that, and then we're gonna duplicate it like that, and then we're gonna remove half of it, and now we can just select both of them, lift them up, and join them, and now convert to curve. And in the curve settings, we can just increase the depth and add 2 levels of subdivision, and there we go. We created the user icon. You can even drag this down like this if you want. Does it look like a user icon? Let's see. Let's just not drag it then. Okay, let's put it down in the center. Okay. So we can do this, right? We can do this. And we can just parent both of them. Or we can make another version. Remove all the parent linking from it. Let's just move this to the side. I'm gonna duplicate that curve again. Wait, actually, I'm actually brain dead. Oh my god. Let's just duplicate everything. So instead of this curve, uh, let's just get it back to the way it was. And instead of it being a curve, I want it to stay as a mesh. And I'm just gonna fill this, turn it to geometry, clean geometry, just so that we can. Oh my god. I just like it to be, straight. It's just a bit of perfectionism, but it's okay. And I also want to connect both of these edges, and I want to see how many edges from here to the other side without seeing these edges. I know we messed up the vertices because we turned it back to a mesh. That's okay. It's okay. Don't do what I do. I messed up here. So that's 63 vertices. So we need 63 minus 2. So we need 61 down here. So let's add 61. And now if we choose everything here, inset, delete. Now let's grid fill. Now we have clean geometry. Now we can just extrude everything. Uh, and let's check the face orientation because I feel like it's fucked. And it is. So let's put it back. It looks nice. Now let's just select these edges. And we add a nice bevel. And we add 2 levels of subdivision to make it a bit smooth. And we have this one. We have this one, and we have this one. Which one looks nicer? Which one looks nicer? Right or left? I feel like left is a bit nicer because you have to judge from the perspective of like this board is gonna be like a glass, so it's just gonna be like a very like almost very low roughness, and it's just gonna be like a you know in the color of like the word icon like this, and it's just gonna be transmissive. So when we look at it from here, it's gonna be like that. So just somebody tell me what they think, right or left here. So we can just move on. And that's just gonna stay white, and it's gonna be emissive. And yeah, it's gonna look way better in post processing, so don't worry. So which one do you think is better? I feel like the one on the left. So somebody tell me, somebody tell me. If anybody's watching. Yeah, let's just move on until somebody says something. Um, let's I'm gonna grab them up here. Try cutting it with boolean. Which one? The one on the right? This one? Or you mean or this one? Like right or left? Because I don't think we need, if you're talking about the right, I don't think we need to cut it with the left one. Try cutting it with boolean with the left one. What? Wait, but which one are we cutting? Like this, the board or the person? Like the stick figure? Like the stick figure or like the board? Which one are you talking about? Or do you mean we use this to cut through that? Is that what you mean? To use the person to cut through the board? So I'm gonna preview this. Okay. I'm just gonna duplicate this here, the sphere, and I'm gonna disable, wait, it is already disabled, okay. So I'm gonna put it here. Use stick figure to cut in the shape. Okay, okay. I'm sorry if it's if the if your messages are coming in late. I don't know why is it delayed. It's so annoying. Uh, okay. Let's see. Use stick figure. So we have to convert it to a mesh, and we gotta close both of these gaps to be able to cut and have this not be hollow. Told you it takes forever the comments to get you. Yeah, I have no idea why. Like there is no delay. I genuinely don't understand why is it doing this. It's crazy. So we add a boolean, add this. Wait, what? Wait, huh? What am I doing wrong here? Wait, what? Hold up, hold up. See, that's what I hate with booleans. It's crazy. Okay, so manifold. Um, okay. Hmm. So we want to have it like carved in and to be emissive from the inside. Or we can carve it like, no, that's actually better for sure. Like, let's just remove this one. I feel like this one is way better. Let's see. Where is the... Oh, it's here. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. So we can definitely apply it the way it is right now. But before we do that, let's just make sure that it's right in the middle. Because we don't want to have like these edges be like floating, you know, and have like excess geometry. Um, so unfortunately, we're gonna have to apply the subdivision modifier, which I hate doing that. I hate it so much. And I just want to apply the boolean because I'm hating this artifact. And it's just gonna look hideous when we try and texture that. So let's just try and get rid of this mess. So we're gonna clean this up in a way that gonna have to drag this like that and get this face. Let's see. Damn, it's so messy, it's crazy. We definitely don't have to worry about like connecting all that stuff. So let's just try and worry about how to get rid of this part on the inside. That's what we need to worry about right now. I know we shouldn't be like worrying too much about something so simple like this, but it's okay. It's okay if you want to do something right, do it like all the way. And wait, okay, okay, let's just trying to merge any vertices. There's like 6 vertices here. Let's see. 1 second, 1 second. Okay, okay. So let's see. We can just delete this for now. And you know what? Here, let me just. I'm gonna select this, turn it to a seam. You should try to hollow cylinders to cut instead. That's actually genius. Or, I don't think hollow cylinders are gonna work, but wait, wait, wait. Let's actually try it. Why not? Um, I'm just gonna bring back the modifiers again, and we can literally control the geometry of this, so we don't have to worry about messed up geometry on the other side. So let's see. You can try top part and then extrude it after you're done. Yeah. Like remove the bottom part, and man, that's literally what I was gonna do right now. So I'm gonna do this. Choose this part as well. Of course, it's not gonna be chosen on the other part. Oh my god. So we wanna choose this one? Am I choosing the correct one? Of course it's not. Oh my, it's so crazy, bro. Okay. So, and this one, make sure we choose the inner one as well. And now we just apply a seam and we choose the half. Hello, half part. Okay, let's just delete this one first. Okay. And we want to choose the bottom part here. Why is it not working? Oh my god, it's because of the circles. That's okay. Uh-huh. Let's just make them perfect topology. See, that's the hassle with manifolds. With the That's the hassle with the booleans. It's just, oh my god, it's annoying. And okay, I want to turn that, and you want to do the same circle here, and like that. And now, what the hell? Oh my god, that's so crazy. It's not working for some reason. Okay, okay, okay. I have an idea. I have an idea. Okay. So this and that. Wait. So this and this one. And we're gonna mark it as CM. And now we choose. It should work. Finally. Oh my god. Okay, now let's choose everything and extrude it down. So that's what you mean by a hollow cylinder, right? So let's see if it works. I hope it will. I hope it will. But I don't think it will just because it has to be a solid. From my experience with booleans, it's always a solid that works. Like it has to be. It can't be hollow. But let's see. Let's try. See, it doesn't work. But let's try the exact. It's just doing something that we're not expecting. So that's why the hollow way doesn't work. But it's okay. We tried. Let's just grab the icon, and instead we wanna just remove this topology, this axis topology, just so we don't have to worry about it when we do the boolean, because this is what messes up everything. And we want to also remove this part here, and that should fix everything. And now, now how do we make them solid? That's the problem. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just gonna select all the edges here. I have a I have an idea. We can use the mirror modifier to make this solid again. Actually, let's just remove all this. And we're gonna select the edge loops again. Make sure that it's selected. And let's just place the origin point there at the 3D cursor. And we're gonna do a mirror modifier and just extrude it down a bit. And place the 3D cursor there. Mirror modifier on the Z, clipping, and okay, like that. Looks nice. Let's apply the mirror, and now let's see. Get out of isolation mode. Now let's do the boolean. What? Why is it not working now? That is crazy. No hollow in the middle, like when you make no hollow in the middle, like when you make inset faces and bridge faces. Hollow in the middle, like when you make inset faces. And bridge faces. Oh, oh, you mean it passes? Oh, oh, okay, okay, okay. I get it now. Thank you for telling me about this, that you want it to be like that. That's okay. That's not what I had in mind at all with this one. But let's make it like that, actually. Why not? Let's make it. So we do it like this. Let's take a look. And it's probably because we have to close these circles. So let's just close them right now. Should work now. I swear there has to be something wrong with this. Like, what the fuck? Why is it not working? No shot. What? There's definitely something wrong here. Non-manifold inputs. Bro, what do you mean? Like, you're telling me if I just create a cylinder here and I just put that cylinder to be the boolean, it's not gonna work? It is working. So why is this not working? Damn. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I have no idea why it's not working, but that should not stop us from just recreating it, you know? So let's just recreate it. It's as simple as that. So choose both of the curves, bring them up, join them, invert the curve, and increase to like 0.15, place it in the middle, do two levels of subdivision, and like this, make it a bit bigger. Okay, now let's turn it to a meth. Let's close these circles. Okay, and grid fill, and just rotate it just a tiny bit, and place it down. Let's see. That should work in theory. Let's hope. Use cylinder after inset face and bridge top to bottom to make a hole in it. You mean a hole inside of here? Inside of like the board itself? I thought you meant to make like the icon itself be intersecting all of this. Isn't that what you meant? Like this? So if we apply this and that, Let's just get rid of all of this bullshit here. Because, oh my god. Fuck bullions, I swear. Oh my god. Okay. It's just a lot of unclean geometry that is just painful to work with. Um, so you can just drag this edge lobe, make an edge here, and count how many vertices. That's like 5 vertices, so we add 5 here, and we bridge both of them, bridge edge loops. Now let's just drag all of this again. Let's just delete this, make an edge here, put 5, bridge all these edge loops to complete the geometry. And now let's drag this, and we want to have like a sharp area here. And we can just bridge it, close the hole. It's not working because why? So we're gonna create it manually then. So this edge is gonna have 5 vertices, and we're gonna bridge this to this, and we're gonna bridge, do just a grid fill here, and boom. Now we're gonna get artifacts like that, but probably it would go away with the subdivision surface. Nice, not bad, not bad, wallah. So we could also, to fix this jagged geometry. Sorry for the inconvenience. Do it your way, my bad. Why? No, 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 no. No, what do you mean sorry, man? Um, it's just no, it's just bullions. It's that way, like it's just bullions is just,
Keep your
you
music
know,
flowing. Download your favorite tracks
you
and listen to
it's
them
gonna create
ad-free
like
with
more
Spotify
problems for you
Premium. Hit
than
play on
if you
3
just
free
made
months
it in a
now and
way
cancel
that to
anytime.
reconsider what you're
Download
gonna be
it
facing
now.
after. But it's okay though. Come on, it's okay. We're only here like we're doing everything together, so it's all good, man. You don't have to apologize for everything. What do you mean? I'm just hoping because I have to get good at learning how to do at learning how to deal with this bullion. Because holy moly, man, holy moly. See, like I want, for example, choose all these edge loops, but I want to choose only this edge loop. So how can I choose it? I can't. So if I want to choose everything from here, I choose it like that. Let's say I want to choose. Okay, you can. Thank God. Oh my God. It's just a lot of trial and error, and it's all good. What we're learning together. We are learning together, I swear. So the reason why I want to add a bevel here is just to make this edge cleaner and not have any artifact. Um, and right off the bat, like we're adding a lot of geometry right now, just because of the subdivision. Um, also, so I don't want to repeat what I did here on this side, so I'm just gonna delete everything on one of the sides and just mirror it with the mirror modifier after. So I'm just gonna try and choose the edge loops here. Select the boundary loops, do the mean bevel weight. Okay, and looks good. It's just again, this edge is very, very wobbly. It's not looking clean at all. It's already too heavy. I think it's okayish right now. It's not very clean, but it's okayish. But it's okay, it's okay. Now let's just remove everything on this side and make sure that we did remove everything because we didn't. Okay, like that. And like this. And now we add a mirror modifier. And okay. Now we didn't have to select everything again. Like to do this part, so we don't have to do like all the steps. So we can just apply it and leave it like that. And that's all good now. Now we're finished with this icon. Um, Now let's see. Yeah, it's not that bad. Okay. Looks nice, looks nice. So we have this option and this option. So let's just go with this option for Amr. I swear we're gonna go with this option for you, man. I swear. So let's go. Booleans are being in the apps. True, true. It's just insane. It's just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Um, so let's see. We want to have like a let's do like some textures for the rubber balls here. Um, so we can do like a bit of a glossy finish. So let's try like a glossy finish, see how that looks. So if we were to be in like the render mode, damn, glossy is just, damn, that's not it. Well, let's just stay with the principle, make it a bit reflective, a bit of like this color, like that. And we're not gonna make it transmissive. And I feel like let's see, we could add let's see, let's make like a diffuse material to blend between this material and this, to blend between both of the shaders, you know? So we're gonna make like a noise texture on this one, and we're gonna make it very very renounced, but it's not gonna have like all that detail. And let's just ignore the roughness. And we're gonna grab like a ramp, a color ramp, and we're just gonna remove a bit of that, like make it very subtle. So make it like a dotted ball. So when it's like, when it has like a bit of like the interaction, it's not gonna look like a just a solid ball there. It's gonna have like a bit of a texture on it, you know. So it's gonna almost look like that, which is nice, not bad, not bad. And we wanna have that tea to be like one of this glassy materials, glassy looking materials. And I don't know, we could do a bit more here to the ball. Let's see. It's a nice color, I think. Let me know what you think. And I like the bit of texture on it. Looks nice. So we're just gonna leave it like that for now. And on the other ball, we're just gonna make. Wait. I don't know. I feel like that blue is not looking that rich at all. Yeah, that feels a bit better. And on this ball, we can just duplicate the material and change the color to like an orange or something. Or like a purplish, desaturated pastel color. Yeah, like that. So let's see. It's a bit too laggy right now because of the we didn't bake the simulation here for this ball because it has the cloth tag on it. So let's do that right now. So we want to have this icon be animated from again. Let's just animate it in a different way now, like this sign. Uh, so I think we can have it be like um, we can have it fall like we can have it be like a rigid body. Purple is nice. Yeah, thank you, man. We can have it fall on like the ball. It bounces on it, and then it will just fall like to oblivion, you know, to like the nothingness. So to do that, we can just add a rigid body on it and have it be affected by gravity. And this is just gonna be interacting with this. So let's see. Let's hope that it. What the just went through it. What? Oh, because we didn't add collision. My bad, my bad. So instead of suffering through the slow frames, let's just bake it and wait. We bake and wait. So let's see. I'm sure the result is gonna look nicer. I hope it folds and doesn't stick to the thing or just messes up the simulation. So we're gonna see. Okay, now let's see. It's still what? Is there no what? How? Oh my god. So there is a rigid body and there is a collision. Oh, okay. I think I know why it's doing this. So we have to set the shape of the collision to mesh. Let's just we're gonna bake just like 100 frames and we're gonna stop. Okay, let's watch. Okay, it's still going through it. Interesting. Source deform. Source of the mesh is to create collision shapes deform. Damn. Uh, uh, uh. So if we make it sphere, it's gonna interact like that. Make it passive maybe. No, if we make it passive, it's just gonna stay there. Like, look. If we make it passive, it's not gonna be affected by any force field. Passive is only used when you wanna make like something like a floor. So and you have another rigid body interact with that passive. So like for example, if you have a cube and that cube is active, but you have a floor and you put a rigid body on it and set it to passive, and then oh, make the sphere passive, but we want the sphere to act as a cloth. So if I put it to passive, see, it's not gonna the cloth simulation is not gonna play. So let's just try with the sphere on this one, and let's see what happens. What? It's still not working. Why is it starting here? Let's see. Okay, it's not working. So let's see. So we have to add a collision tag on it. But the collision tag has to be before, maybe? Okay. So if we remove the rigid body and get this animated from top, move animated bottom. Now let's watch. Okay, it's gonna lag. So let's just bake like 100 frame and watch. It's gonna work this time because uh it only has a collision tag on it, but without a rigid body. But we wanted it to be like affected by gravity. It falls on the cloth and then it bounces and then it would just falls to falls over. See, it works now because it has a collision. But a limbic is not gonna work either because a limbic you need to have the animation set up in a good way in the viewport to be in the correct way, and then when you have it as an alembic, it comes. You can only use alembic because in ways to just control the source of the animation itself, but not the interaction or like the simulation. So you can't really adjust the simulation once you bake it as an alembic because it bakes whatever you're seeing here. So we're just gonna have to figure out like how to get this to work as a rigid body. I had it before. I did it before, but I don't know. Maybe animated? No, so let's try animated. Why not? That actually looks nice though. If you look at it from this side, that looks nice. That might be one of those happy accidents. It looks like it's just, it's indicating like a comfort for the customer who's using Microsoft and stuff like that. That actually looks nice. What do you think? I actually like it. It's not what I was going for, but I think it looks nice. Wow. It's just that it's a bit slow, so we can just drag it to the front here, like here. It looks much better. I actually like it that way. What do you guys think? I actually like it. Very nice. What you did for the sphere again? It's just a cloth simulation. You go in, you want to make sure that the distance in the collisions is not set to something no more than 0.001. So 0.01. So you want to have it to be lower than 0.01. So I have it around 0.005 and it worked perfectly in my case here, just so that the collision can work. So when you animate anything on the ball is gonna enter, the ball is gonna react to the collision in a way that doesn't look, fake. Wait, why is it not working now? What happened? Oh, it's because, oh my God, it's because we, I want to bake it all the way. So let's bake it. Okay, so now let's see. Could be working perfect. Okay. Yeah. No, but it falls. It's falling. Okay. So there is a trick that we can do to fix this, to have it stop falling. Hmm. Um. So we can try. No, no, but no, it's not gonna happen like that. So it's carrying over the inertia, basically. That's what it's doing. That's why it keeps falling. If we put something underneath it, it's just gonna deform the whole inflation of the rubber thing. So we can make it in a way that it inflates. But if it inflates, interesting. We can also animate the speed multiplier. So watch this, watch this. So we want to determine like the point of impact, which is here. So we want to have from here on out, we want to have the cloth simulation to be very, very slow after this impact. So we want it to be reaching here, which is the point where this icon finishes the interaction with the sphere. And we want to have the speed multiplier to be almost zero, like 0.05 or something like that. And this is going to be slowing the simulation down so that the spheres, gradually stops interacting like a rubber ball or like a cloth simulation. So let's bake it for like 100 frame and watch it. Okay, it should be done here. And I'm gonna stop it and watch. And see? We fixed it. We literally fixed it. Simulations gives great results, but it takes forever to achieve what you're seeking for. It's very, very true. You have to be patient. But it gives really great results, like, when you keep playing around with it, it's really, really nice at the end. But this is a really good trick, like when you control the speed multiplier along with like an interaction with a different object, and you just try to like find the nice point where you just, you know, slow down the whole simulation so that it doesn't seem like it's, you're not really having control over it, but it's just you are actually having control over the speed, you know? Like, see how we fixed this part now? And now it's just resting the way we intended it to be. Really, really nice. And now I think we're almost done with everything. It's looking really, really nice. Really, really nice. Um, let's try and export both of them as an Olympic. Or do we have to? Let's see. Something is so odd with the colors, I swear. Let's try and just change it up. Like medium contrast, maybe? No. Oh my god. Um, okay, so let's just get to the glass board here, and I want to increase the roughness a bit on it. I don't want it to be very, very reflective like this. So we're just gonna make it a bit foggy, like 0.1. Let's see how it looks, or 0.25. And okay, let's just 0.05. Just a bit of a fog there, so that it's not very, very reflective the way it is. Okay, so it starts like this, and it shoots, and that's really about it. It ends here, ends, and it just loops back again. I think we're gonna, I think we're good so far. So far, so good. Yeah, and I think I think I want to stop here as well and call it a day. And I'm gonna render this overnight and post it tomorrow. And I'm gonna come back tomorrow for sure to do another stream. Um, I usually stream around 6:30 or 7:30. 6:30 or 7. It's like during that time, around that time. I'm gonna be streaming every day, like doing stuff on the stream, like, just building stuff on the stream in Blender and making, like, these tutorial types of streams for stuff that I built before, or for stuff that I know. Or like literally it's gonna get to a point where I'm just gonna pick something from Behance and be like, from like one of the big studios, and just try to break it down on stream and see how we can rebuild it and like reverse engineer it in a way. So that could be fun. But I think I'm gonna be stopping today on this point here, and I'm just gonna render this overnight and come back tomorrow, do the rest, like see if we're gonna be adding any more details or stuff like that. Uh, Let me know, Amr, like, how are you liking it so far? Did you like the stream? Did you pick up any tips or anything from the stream? And did you enjoy it as well? And I'm gonna fix that delay tomorrow, I promise you. That's not gonna happen tomorrow. Trust me. It's great, of course. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Thank you, man. I appreciate it a lot. And I can't wait. I'll be seeing you tomorrow then. You have a good night. Enjoy your evening and enjoy the project that you're doing, and keep up the good work, man. And have a good night. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Good night, man.